Okay, so these chicks have not only quickly grown and outgrown this tub, but they've started to try and jump out. So what I'm working on today is getting them something a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make a brooder that we can continue to use every year, and that is folding and collapsible. So let's get started. Okay, so my plan is to make this brooder 4 by 6 feet. So I'm going to mark out and cut 2 feet right off the end of this piece of plywood. Okay, so now we have the base cut. We have one side panel cut off the base. I'm going to screw the base right down the pallet. Okay, now we have our base screwed down the pallet. Now we have something we can pick up with the tractor to transport the chicks up to the barn. It also keeps the base off the concrete floor, so in the winter if we have chicks, it won't be so cold. What I'm going to do now is grab the second piece of plywood and I'm going to cut the same 2-foot strip off the end of it, and then I'm going to make a cut lengthwise, splitting the 6 foot into two 2 by 6 foot pieces, and we're going to use those for the sides. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one side. I'm going to figure out exactly how I want that, and then I'll put the other long side on. Now, what I've got here, these are some old hinges that we had. When we moved in, we replaced the hinges on several doors. They were squeaky, and these ones are kind of rusty painted. So keep this kind of stuff. You never know when you're going to need it. Okay, moment of truth. Yep. Okay, so we got 2 hinges here, right on the outside. So what this would look like is at the end of the season or whenever we're done, this folds out, down, and flat. Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So one thing worth noting is if you're going to use 2 full sheets, you're going to end up with some sort of a corner like this on each corner with the hinge. So I drove the screws in there at an angle. We got 2 hinges on there. We could add a third if we want, but I think 2 is fine. For what we're doing, I think this will hold just fine. So all we're going to do now is figure out a way to latch these 2 corners together, and then we'll be good. Okay, so I think we've got this where we want it. I've got a couple more pegs to make, but I think it's good enough for now. I'll make the pegs tomorrow. I gotta get these chickens in tonight. It's getting kind of late. So I'm gonna show you how this breaks down and what my intent truly was. So get pegs in each corner, pull these out. Pull the side down, pull the end in. Whew, makes a nice flat stack, easy to store, out of the way. It's on a pallet. We can even put it up in the barn with the forks. I'm really happy with this. It's time to get the chickens in. What do we do next?
Put the chickens in.
Let's go get them. The last one? All right, everybody's home. Right for the food. And that doesn't take long. Okay, so here we are 1 week later. For anybody keeping track, this is how much these chicks can grow in a week. Brooder is working out really well. They have a lot of room now. I think they're much happier than where they were before. They seem to be able to spread out quite a bit now, get away from the heat lamp if they want, or go under it if they want. We have upgraded their watering can. Birds this size, they were just going through that little watering can about 3 times a day. So 3 watering cans a day in this feeding tray that I have right here. This size feeding tray they're going through 2 to 3 times a day. So
they're absolutely little eating monsters, but they're getting there. They're starting to feather out. I believe in 4 to 5 days we're gonna have these chicks in the barn, and that's where they're gonna be for the next probably 10 to 12 weeks, somewhere in there. So that's going to conclude the chicken brooder video. I hope that somebody finds this information helpful. Every farm's a little bit different, so this is what works for our brooder. Some people can keep the chicks right in their barn, you know, it's right from day one. We just don't have that option because we don't have power or water up there. So that's going to be it for now. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.